The next thing you want to cut out once you've gotten what is called the fashion fabric, if you are actually making a garment, once you've gotten the fashion fabric cut out, you then want to move on to cutting out your interfacing. And what the interfacing is this piece of, for the first group, it's a white sort of weird non-woven material that will be in your kit. The second group, I've got some on order. Sometimes it's different colors. I believe it will also be white. If it's not, I will update you. What interfacing does is that it gives a little bit of firmness and body to your whatever it is you're making. We use it in collars, we use it in cuffs, on clothing. For this, it's just giving a little more life and body to the sides and the straps on your tote bag, okay? Lucky for y'all, you have just a whole big sheet of about 2 yards of interfacing that will be coming to you. And we gave y'all pretty much the last of what we had. I am piecing mine out of some scraps that we have here. The other good thing about interfacing is that it doesn't matter about grain lines. This is a non-woven, which means it's pressed. So it doesn't have that same issue with the grain lines that your fabric does, okay? So you just want to lay it out in a very conservative fashion so that you're not wasting it. You don't want to cut your first thing out and have a big hole in the middle of your piece of interfacing. A hack that I have figured out with this pattern, since we're not using that front piece to do the layout for those patches and stuff, you have sort of this extra pattern piece that is exactly the same size as the front and back pattern piece that you cut your fashion fabric out of. So I'm going to use piece number 14 for cutting my interfacing and cutting my lining out for my front and back, because then I don't have to remove pins from the very nicely pinned front and back. So this was a scrap that I sort of folded in half this direction. Okay, so I'm going to pin this down on it so I can cut both my front and back all at the same time. Okay. Pin it on the corners. Then I have also discovered that I found a little scrap that I can cut one of my that I can cut one of these straps out of, and then I'm pretty sure if you look at this, that is more than halfway and that fits there, that I'm going to cut, slide it that direction so you can see it a little better, that I'm going to cut the strap interfacing, one of them out of this and the other one out of this little scrap right here. Okay, so I'll be cutting those individually. This is a scrap that I found in a scrap bin, so I'm also going to iron this. You can iron the interfacing. This is not, some interfacing is what's known as fusible, which means it's iron-on, and of course you don't want to iron that unless you're actually attaching it to something. This is non-fusible, so you can press that, and I'm going to go press that before I cut my other strap out of it. Then I have this other scrap that I need to cut piece number 17 out of. Okay, so you're going to need interfacing for pieces 14, 17, and 16. And again, you can take your piece of interfacing, fold it in half, and probably cut all of yours at once. But I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to cut these pieces out and then come back and we'll look at laying out your lining.